I hope you have not come here to snatch my son away from me. He suckled at this breast for 1 year.
1 year, Pere, he suckle. Your son, he dey suckle my own breast. He suckle every day, and he go suckle until he die. Can you comparison the year he used to suckle with just 1 year he suckle your own wey don drop?
Young lady, you listen to me. That young boy, or whatever you call him, that you want to seize away from me, pass between these legs at best. So please, do not break that bond that holds us together.
Hey, old woman, listen. This young boy, man, or what you are calling him, only pass your leg once. Your son, he like to dey pass my own leg passage every day, and he go pass until he die. Come, your own son, say if he pass your passage again, he can't. So, woman, warm yourself.
Hello and welcome to Trash It, where we discuss topics and trash topics. In here, there's no holds bar. And the virtual studio with me today is my gorgeous co-host, Celia. And I've got my usual gang. I call them the G gang. Ethel, Karima, Ogo, and Ajike. As you can see, it's all ladies, all panning out in this panel, which can give you kind of the kind of topic we're going to be talking about. So, ladies, can your mother-in-law take you as her biological daughter? Ladies, too. I can see Ethel going for where. So, because you're giving me that vibe, let me come to you first. Let's start with you, Ethel. Is it possible for your mother-in-law to take you as a biological child?
It's possible if they're not biased, but 80% of them are, especially our Nigerian mothers who are so hooked onto their sons. They see you as a rival. So when that is not there, if the mother-in-law is quite educated, very vast, very knowledgeable, or it's not myopic, they do. That bias is controlled. But if you have the myopic ones, the very shallow-minded ones, oh my God, rest in peace to you.
Esther, are you trying to say education is the barrier for someone to be nice? Because you just said the educated ones.
No. What I said, you can be knowledgeable, but not acquiring the degree.
Okay.
You understand? If you can learn in different you can learn from your friends, you can learn from relatives. If you learn from somebody's mistake, that's education. If you see a fellow woman treat their daughter-in-law bad, and you saw what happened to them eventually, you will learn from that and say, oh God, I don't want to be that. Then you can change. That's education already. You don't have to acquire the degree to be knowledgeable. So some people don't learn still. That's the problem. They'll say it won't happen to me. So those mother-in-laws who want to treat another person's daughter wrongly, beware, because some don't want to learn. They just feel this is my one. They're not taking another child, that's the daughter-in-law as theirs. They are saying this is mine, this is my son, and that's his wife. When you drift away from that mentality, it will be easy for the mother-in-law to take that somebody else's child as hers. That meaning the daughter-in-law.
Okay. Now, Ogo, let me go to you. Culturally, Igbos are very big on their mother-in-laws, as every race and ethnicity. So, do you think, or can your mother-in-law take you as a biological daughter? Because I know you guys are very big on mother-in-law.
But unfortunately, I didn't get married to an Igbo man, so
Where's your husband from?
Yeah. He's Yoruba.
Oh.
Okay. Answering your question, I'll say it's advisable considering where we're coming from, because sons, they are very much attached to their mother. And if you have your mother-in-law on your side, that makes things better for you. for me, my mother-in-law, she always call me, say to me, oh, I see you as my daughter. The same way I'll advise my daughters is the same way I will advise you. So I think it's possible and it's advisable as well for your mother-in-law to take you as her biological daughter or her daughter.
Let me make it personal. Do you see her? Do you think that the advice and the way she's treated you, has she treated you as her biological daughter? Because you can take this on a face value.
She has. Anytime I bring any issue forward to her, I always see her on my side.
You've been lucky. How'd you get that smile? You not rich face. So.
No. Funny enough, me, I don't know. I actually agree with her. And I'm looking at it from the point of view of my own parents and my own in-laws. My in-laws have been incredible people. We've had our differences. The way I am here is the way I am at home. Don't think there's any difference. I'm not acting any drama. This is Ajike for you. So some of them actually found it very difficult accepting me because I'm kind of person, I will tell you the truth. If you don't like it, go and hang yourself. But the matter is that they are used to it because the other, you know this thing in Yoruba culture where they'll say one thing, later they'll come and say another. Me, I'm not like that. My own Yoruba is from Kogi. Maybe that's why my own is like that. My own Yoruba is from Kogi. So they found it difficult accepting that she's brash, she's truthful. But with time, they began to understand. And now I am a mother of a son. So I'm beginning to see things in different ways. My son and I are here today. Riori and Ciliano, I'm writing an exam and I didn't pass it. And I got overwhelmed and I started crying. And my son was here and he was crying with me. And he said, he really took it very personal. Now look at it. We are together now. Just to then, unfortunately, he's my only child. We have that bond. Any other girl that is going to be coming, I'm not saying she's going to fight a battle, and I'm not here to fight any battle, but some people already have this, they have watched African Magic plenty. So they are coming with fights.
Yeah.
The girls themselves are coming with fights. I'm going to fight this mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight you. Unfortunately for you, me, I'm going to have money and I'm going to have mouth. And I'm not going to die. I always tell people, I'm not going to die. That you will say my mother-in-law, some people be praying, my mother-in-law should be dead before you're married. Yeah. Like, I will be alive and I will be well. Nothing gonna do me. So, it's just, I think that a lot of people, we have to, like Ethel said, we have to lose a lot of our preconceived notions and embrace new things. Like even with my son, as young as he's, I always say, when he says, I say, you will love your wife. I'm beginning to put it into him that you are going to do this for your wife. You will buy your wife a car. You understand? You will begin to let go. At times, truly, some mothers hold on so strongly.
Too much. Ever stick.
There's a program on
Gorilla Glue.
Gorilla Glue. Yes, there's a program on TLC. I used to think it was an African problem until I watched this program and I found out Italians, Americans, because it's an American program. Most of the mothers were not letting go. They were telling the girls, in fact, there's one mother that was saying that there's hierarchy and I'm at the top. An American mother, she was telling, the girl has not married her, so she said there's a hierarchy and I'm at the top. But that should not be the case. You should not compete with your children for their love. That's the way I see it. There's love. There should be love for wife. I can't sleep with my son cannot sleep with me.
Exactly.
So let them be. I will now talk to him. He will not answer me. It's his own. I don't even want to know their family problem because my own family problem, nobody helped me to know it's that time. So let me face my own. Hopefully, my own long husbands will live long. So this all of us will be having our own issues and loving ourselves as it is. So we should just let go and let people should stop coming into marriages with preconceived notions. It happened in my family. One of my brothers, when he was getting married, the wife came in with that notion, but by herself, she's tired. Now, in fact, she's one of us. When we go to the house, we don't look for my brother. We just go and start looking for her. We are not, in fact, I can say it now, and I'm not close to my brother. I'm close to his wife. I'm close to his wife. So, it's just, people just need to let go of all these olden days things.
The problem is that the women don't have a life. They don't have a hobby. They don't have friends. So they use their children. We need, it's not even the sons only. I've seen situations where people say, my daughter or my son is my best friend. I don't have any friend in this life. When that one marries, those are the ones that turn out to be the nightmare mother-in-law.
Funny enough, I am like that too. Honestly, I sleep days in my parents' house per week. I must go there and sleep.
I'm not saying about the sleeping. I'm saying they don't have a hobby. They don't have a friend. they don't have a life.
They have to have lifestyle.
Exactly.
True.
If
At
you
least
don't
go
have
to
that,
church.
you build
Go
your
to
castle
church.
around this
Go and
life.
do something else. Have other activities.
Exactly.
Before I
Have
go
other
to
activities.
Karima, Celia, you're Nigerian. And if you take 10 out of, let's just say,
Nigerian.
okay, half Nigerian, half Dutch.
Lie, you are full Nigerian.
So if you take at least 10 marriages on our fingers, let's take 10. 7 tends to have an issue with mother-in-laws. So can you, going from what the three, Ogo, Ajike, and Hefe have said, can you really can a mother-in-law actually take a daughter-in-law as their biological child?
For me, the answer is no. Yeah, the answer is no. And this is not because mother-in-laws are bad or daughter-in-laws are bad. Because that child did not come. See, I'm sorry, guys. A lot of people that are watching this might not agree with me, but this is just my view, okay? And I'm open to hearing other people's view, but this is just my view, right? So I don't believe you can feel the same love for somebody that you didn't carry that you will feel for someone that you carried, right? Although people might say, oh boy, it doesn't matter. Sometimes women that carry children, some of them throw the children away. Yes, I understand that. But I'm saying normal people because those people ain't normal.
But people who adopt children would argue with you.
Okay, so I'm going to come to that. People that adopt children would argue and they would blast me. And I see where they're coming from, right? But what I'm saying is, sometimes if you're a mother that really wanted a child and you have a child, and you have that connection, because when a woman is pregnant, and I'm not trying to say that if you didn't carry your child you're not going to feel connection, but this is just what I know. My views might be very myopic. I'm happy to accept it, right? When I was pregnant with my son, from the very first day I knew I was pregnant, you see that dots of whatever the fetus, I started speaking to the child already. I formed that bond with the child already, right? Now, are you going to come and tell me that a child that I didn't connect with like that, I am now going to feel the same love I felt or I feel for my own son, for that child? No, the answer is no. I will still love that child, that other child, or that daughter-in-law or adopted child unconditionally. But there's an extent that I might go for that child. Yes. I will die for my son. But might I die for an adopted child? I don't think I will. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to put it out there. I will not die for an adopted child, but for my son that I gave birth to, I carried for 9 months. Yes, I will. Do you understand? So for me, I don't think any mother-in-law will take their daughter-in-law as their child. I'm talking out of experience, okay? I remember my mother, right? Something happened between her and my sister-in-law. And the way she reacted, because she and my sister-in-law are very close. In fact, when I call my mom sometimes, and she thinks it's my sister-in-law talking, and when she hears that, when I say, oh, mom, it's Celia, she'll be like, oh, okay. Her voice will just change because she's like, oh, I thought I was talking to my daughter-in-law. Oh, it's you. Oh, okay. You remember you have a mom today and all of that. Like, okay, whatever, But as close as they were, when something happened between the two of them, the way my mom reacted towards her, she felt that if it was one of her own biological daughters that said the same thing, my mom would not have reacted the same way.
No, but that is only normal. Like now, even me, something happened recently, and the way my in-laws reacted, and I actually told my husband when everything settled down that if it was their own child, would they do that?
No, they won't.
It's only normal. Well, what I think, when we talk about this in this context, I just believe that it's not like maybe you should put your child above that person.
Yeah, that's why I thought.
Let the person have peace, so that the person will not have all this African magic problem.
Yes.
The person will not have African magic problem. Yes. Have you seen people, and I used to think it was African magic until people started talking, until my friends started giving me details about what their mother-in-laws were doing to them. I said, wow.
Ajike, let me say something, right? And you're right there, okay? But then it all adds up. Do you understand? It all adds up. And the way, when that issue happened between my mom and my sister-in-law, I don't think till today their relationship ever went to the way it was, because she felt
before, when they were very close, she felt, no, you know, I'm Mrs. Kuranga as well, and blah, 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 you know, me and your mom were tight. And we saw that, okay? But when this issue happened, she was shook, like, oh my God, I thought this woman would have just not attached that much importance to what I said. Because if it was me, her biological daughter that said that, she would be angry and then she would get over it. Because I'm going to be like, mom, do you want me to go? And, you know, so the way she would get over what I do and the way she would get over what my sister-in-law does is different.
But Celia, with us as well, our mom can tell us the worst things, but because she's our mom, we forgive.
Yes.
But when they say it to someone and they'll say, oh, it's because it's not my child. Your mom would have done that to you, but you would say, mom, she's like that, troublemaker.
Yes.
But because it's her, she's not taking it as though. So you cannot have that.
And that's what I'm saying, Ethel.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's vice versa. A daughter-in-law can never really take a mother-in-law as a biological mother. Let's just be realistic. Okay. And a mother-in-law can never also take a daughter-in-law as her biological daughter, period. They might love each other and, I love my mother-in-law so much. But there's always how far.
Right. There's always that glass ceiling.
You understand?
Let me move swiftly to Karima. Like, Karima.
Yeah, my mom-in-law just turned up. Let me close the door. Literally, she just rang the bell.
Okay, so
I'll answer this with some, caution. But from a West Indian background,
I was gonna say that.
Whether it's Jamaica, I'm not from Jamaica, so I'm from Grenada and St. Vincent, the smaller islands. Mm-hmm. But whether it's Barbados, Jamaica, St. Vincent, St. Kitts, any of those islands, the answer is no. No, your son could be wrong and strong. She's backing him. Doesn't matter. So it's a no. It's a no.
Okay.
It's a definite. And I believed something different 10 years ago. I would have said, oh yeah, definitely, because of my ex.
Yeah.
And his mum and I got on so well. And we were very, very close. But she kept his secret that he had another woman, and she didn't tell me. And
so that's not being close. That's not being close.
Exactly, I realized that after the fact.
Oh my goodness!
The answer is no.
That give me a gun, shoot me better than that.
The answer is, and I wouldn't have believed that she would have done that. I believe she would have told me. She would have told on me.
There you go. You can never be a biological child.
So now you're older and wiser. So the answer to, and now I have my own kids. Obviously, it's the same what Celia's saying. You just, they're always going to be your children, aren't they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that goes in tightly to one. I'm going to use Celia's sister-in-law as a case in point now. So, what are the signs that you're supposed to look for? Because look at your sister-in-law and your mom. They were tight as 5 and 6. And something, we don't know what it is. It might be something big. It might be something minute. Has kind of put a divide between both of them. So what are the signs to look out for you to know that, well, actually, this woman doesn't need me? Because you want to go in like, oh, God, she got right with her mother-in-law. She thinks this woman takes her as a biological child. So for the other 4, which is Ethel, Celia, and Ajike, and probably myself, what are the things that you need to look for to let you know that, well, my mother-in-law does not see me as a biological daughter, so I need to really respect what I say, how I move?
I don't even think, for my sister-in-law's one, I mean, I don't even think there are signs. I think she and my mom, they just clicked, they just got on. And sometimes our parents, they can be a bit for lack of a better word, let my siblings not come and attack me after this video. Do you understand? It's like you're like, but mom, what's wrong with you? But my mom would say, Celia, you haven't spoken to me for weeks, and I just spoke to her yesterday, right? Okay, I'm not gonna say the A or the D word, so we all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the thing is, I don't think my sister-in-law saw it coming, right? And I think whatever it was that happened may have been in the heat of an argument, for example. Do you understand? And then she said something, and she just said it very loosely and didn't think anything of it, And maybe if I had said that to my mom would, I don't even think
in the context where it happened, and when my sister-in-law said what she said, if I was the one that said that to my mom, she wouldn't have said anything. She would be like, okay, it's okay. You know, she would just take it. But I think my mom just lashed onto that because she just wanted to.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
that's what they do. Even me too.
I think
something like this
that's what they do.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
have one
something like this
anymore.
that happened between me. So I said something. I think I said something, and now they've latched onto it, and they are running with it, and it's okay. In fact, I've come to understand that if I'm not making you happy, please delete me from your life. The same way, me too, I have cousins that are blocked everywhere on social media, everywhere. This whole life, I block them. The only way they can get me is through phone, and they will not call me. It's okay. As long as I'm not good for their mental health, and they are not good for my mental health, it's okay. Yeah. As long as everybody's existing where they are, and when we see each other, as long as we don't come to blows, good morning, good afternoon, good night, we can only try our best, like Celia has stated, we can only try our best. You can only do your best. But the issue I don't want, at least people are
you seem to have the
people are still being civil. Some people don't, some people have it really rough. We're still being nice in this discussion. Some people have it really rough.
Yeah, some people do. Ajike, just to say quickly, and as I said, I don't think there was any sign. My sister-in-law didn't see that coming. She didn't see that reaction from my mom coming. My mom just took it and, oh, I'm angry now. Do you understand? So I think that was why she felt so hurt. She genuinely felt hurt that, oh my God, like, okay, but I'm sorry. Okay, I said it's okay, but I'm sorry. But you know, the word had already been put out there. So that was why it hurt her, because she thought she and my mom had a very close relationship. She saw my mom as her mom, and she felt she could talk to my mom the way she would talk to her mom, or the way and it would be okay. But unfortunately, I don't know what was wrong with my mom that day. Maybe she was already having a bad mood and she just lashed onto it, and that became an issue. Although I spoke to the two of them, and I told my mom, no, you need to apologize to her because she's hurt, because she sees you as her mom, right? And you're taking this too far. Okay, so she's angry that you didn't really take her as a daughter. And then I said to my sister-in-law, what you said is wrong, because anybody you say that to, regardless of the relationship you have with your mother-in-law, we are Africans. They're going to say, what? You said that? You know, so you guys need to apologize to each other. And you know, and my mom, I believe my mom apologized to her and she did the same, but I don't know if the relationship is the way it was before.
Okay. Oh God, you seem to have the blueprints, because you and your mother-in-law seems to gel. So what are the things that you do, or what are the signs that you saw? What are the things that your mother-in-law saw in you that made you feel so comfortable that this woman has actually taken me as her daughter?
Actually, each time I talk to her on the phone, the kind of advice that she's always giving me, I've seen her giving her daughters those kind of advice, and she always tells me that the same way I'm talking to you is the same way I'll talk to my daughters. And if you have any issue, just feel free to come to me. But I'm the kind of person that keeps things to myself. So
keep keeping it. It will help. Keep it, yeah.
So, and you know, another thing is when I was pregnant with my daughter, and the day she came was the day I went into labor, and she was there throughout. So I had that bond with her, and we were very close from that day onwards. And she doesn't joke with that, my daughter, up till now. So that closeness has been there since then, and yeah, that's the way I see it.
Okay. So let's think about without a lack of better word, very destructive mother-in-laws. Okay. So should you, because obviously we're married to their sons, and we want our husbands to be happy, I would assume. And sometimes relationship between you and the mom, if it's not that good, it tends to impact on the guy in between. Because they said when two elephants fight, it's the grass that tends to suffer. Yeah. So should you make an effort as a daughter-in-law to sort of get your mother-in-law to like you, where you now put your happiness on the back burner?
I service.
Let me give you an example.
No, I service, no.
My mom is from Kwara State, while my dad is from Ondo State, which is really very close to Benin. So I have some Benin heritage. She doesn't speak the language. She doesn't know how to cook their food in the early days. And because she's not from that area, God bless my mother, and I hope my dad doesn't disown me for this. My grandmother showed her pepper. Till today, like, my dad may not recall, but we were at home and saw what that woman went through. And sometimes I always wanted to enter into, I'd be like, oh, fight back now. But she didn't. So I felt at times she put her happiness at the back burner. There were so many things she didn't bring it to my dad's attention, or she just let the woman speak the way she wanted to speak and just.
In those days, women didn't
and
really
the men
have
just sit and watch and pretend as if they didn't see anything.
So
no
my
evil,
question is,
when it comes to that, it's still no evil here, no evil.
All right, my question, Ajike, you coming is, should you make an effort for your mother-in-law to like you, even if it means you putting your happiness at the back, because you want your home
personally, in this generation, I mean, I really don't care. Let me not say what I really want to say.
Please say, Sorosoke.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying fuck. Please, they can edit that out. Really?
No, we're not.
That's just the word. I'm not here to, like they said, Megan said, I'm not here to pamper anybody or to baby anybody, or what did they say she said when she said, that's just the truth of the matter. I'm here for your son. If you like me too, I will like. If you don't like me too, you and your son can be doing, like now, there are sometimes my husband is a very, very family-oriented person. He loves his family a lot. He's very, very into them. And I don't have a problem with that. Really, some people, in fact, this kind of matter can cause another issue in the family. But for me, I didn't take it like that. My own is, when I'm now ready to talk, you must listen to me. When it's time for me, I should have my own time. So for me, I don't make it an issue. You're on the phone with somebody for many hours. Do as you please. When I'm ready to talk, you can talk. For me, that's just, there's some women also come into competition. They make everything an issue. He's talking to his mommy too much. He's talking to his daddy too much. He lets him talk. He has credits. When he's ready, we talk to me. At times, as we are doing, yes, when he's ready, we talk to me. When I'm ready, I'll talk to him. Who even said I want to talk to him too?
It boils down to having a life, have a hobby, have a life.
Have your own life, have your own this thing. Now, some mother-in-laws are really competitive. I understand that. But, and they put their sons in awkward positions and all whatnot. But for me, if you are busy, you are going to work morning to night, you have children to take care of. If the mama's wahala going is too much, this our own generation, it's Sorosoke generation. It's not like those days that you just be take everything. You'll be keeping the heat. Mommy, enjoy my binu and travel. Even if you're not traveling, we go somewhere for a few days. So
let me tell you guys a bit of myself.
Yeah.
I lived with my mother-in-law for 2 years. Everybody's, oh yeah, we thought, oh, she was a mom. We didn't know you are the wife, blah, blah, blah. When this woman came for me, hey, the things that came out from her mouth, hot tears. Wow. Then you'll be wondering, why would she say, what was she really that bitter towards me all these years? I thought we had a connection. I thought we,
that's how they are. Not only mother-in-law, sister-in-laws too.
So that's why I'm telling my darling, that's why I'm telling my darling, okay, keep your things inside there. Don't tell them, don't share. Let them keep advising you. Take their advice ahead. Don't bring anything out. Don't say anything about you to anybody. Just keep keeping it. No, don't tell you come. Anything, any issue, just come. Let me advise.
No, really, I agree with Estelle, because a lot of times, most of the issues that have, from what my friends have said, and even me, is that thing you have said. Yes. What you say, you're about saying, what you say, the words we speak are eggs. Once it has come, it's cracked, it will just latch on to one thing. And I was telling my husband, I said it's equivalent to gaslighting.
Yeah, it's gaslighting. Yeah, it's gaslighting.
It's equivalent to gaslighting, because okay, a woman will find her husband cheating. It's not the cheating they will talk about. They'll say, why did she check his phone? Why did she look at the phone? What is the phone doing in her hand? Why was she not sleeping when she was checking the phone?
I can't keep my son for you. I can't keep my son for you.
They will tell you, I've told him he will not marry the other woman. They are just dating. Just leave them alone. Imagine. It's on here, like you're about to say.
Is that what?
Is that what? Is that something to be said outside? So, what I've come to, like Ethel is saying, whatever you can do, as much as possible, be calm. Don't speak into their hands. Once you have said that thing like this, okay. Except you are like me, that can defend yourself, because me, I will, whatever I said, if you come and ask me, I can explain to you. I have time.
Throw this to Celia and Karima. Given what Ethel and Ajike and Ogoa said, should you defend yourself or let your husband be the one to sort things out, especially when mother-in-laws don't know their place without the lack of better word. Let me go to
better
Karima.
defend yourself.
I think I would try to defend myself first. I think I would try to find out what the problem is really and try to resolve it, because really it's a difficult position to put your husband in anyway. Yeah. So if you're a big woman, you're his wife, I would just try to resolve and say, why don't you like me? What's the problem? Can we sort this out? Likely you're not going to, because if she didn't like you from the get-go, you have a problem. Generally, that's what it is. As soon as if the mother-in-law straight away doesn't like you, she's not going to like you. She's just not. She's already decided not to like you. You're so lucky if you get a mother-in-law that you get on with. I get on with my mother-in-law better than I get on with my own mum. My mum's a very difficult woman. But, you know, very difficult woman. You say boo, she want to bust your head, you know. So but I honestly do think if from the very beginning she is set against you, you know, and she uses her son as a go-between, I think you have a problem. You have a long-standing problem. But I think it's better from the beginning to ask the mother-in-law, what is the problem? Why don't you like me? And she'll probably tell you direct because you've asked, and she would be glad to tell you. And then there's nothing more you could do about it. I believe that she has decided not to like you, and she will
My
not
darling,
like
most Nigerian mother-in-laws will not tell you I don't like you. Oh God, she's lying on my head. Who told you I don't like you? Did I tell you I don't like you?
You know them.
Nigerian mother-in-laws asking,
yeah,
you know them.
Caribbean people, they will tell you straight.
They will cry. They will cry. Oh, she's backing up against me. She wants my son to hate me.
They would just be
said I don't like her.
brutally honest.
Don't ask that kind of question. No.
Celia, saying that, I'm going to tie this up. From what Ethel is saying, how do you then deal with passive-aggressive mother-in-laws? Because this is someone that you know does not like you.
Hey, Karima
doesn't like you.
Karima, you're very bold and bogus. You want to be asking your mother-in-law, what did I do?
Oh,
why don't you like me?
Let's talk. Why don't you like me?
Listen, that's how we stay. That's how West Indians stay. I know Africans and West Indians, we're quite, you know, we're bolshy anyway, but with certain cultural respects, we would be very direct and say, why you not like me? What me do you?
Fear will not let us. Fear will not let us. Fear will not let us ask that question.
You know the mother-in-law is gonna tell you straight. Well, let me tell you why.
Me not like you.
Off if she doesn't like you.
No, they don't do that.
She will be waiting for the day for you to ask.
The thing is, we cannot be asking that questions to our mother-in-law. They're not bonus rich to ask that kind of question, honestly. Because
don't try that.
When you ask that question, that is it there. See, you're asking me question because I'm not your mate that you want to now be asking me question.
And you are lying against me. You
carry me stand and you are asking me question. Okay, where is my son? Come and see. See, the thing is, for me, right? My husband is my Voltron, defender of the universe, okay? So when it comes to his family,
let him deal with it.
I just go to his back and I put him in my front as the pillar. My husband will receive like a nuclear tower, He will receive all those things that are coming and he will block it and say, no, this is not moving, this is not going to my wife. But let's even assume that I had to receive any of those. No, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to my mother-in-law. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to my mother-in-law, but I'm just gonna make sure whatever it is that's going on, his son sees and hears, right? So that I don't have to be the one to tell you, you heard it, you saw it yourself, right? Because I'm not one to, I'm not one to disrespect my elders. I wouldn't disrespect my mother-in-law, but let's be clear, I'm talking about my mother-in-law. But unfortunately, my mother-in-law has now gone to be with the Lord last year. May her soul continue to rest in peace. So now I don't, you know, everything is fine. But if it's where
before what? Now everything is fine. It's going to meet her maker and everything is fine.
No. What I'm saying
she will not die.
No, what I'm saying is,
I told you I shall not die. But
what I'm saying is, no. What I mean is, I don't have to deal with
that again.
Any mother-in-law issues, unfortunately. And you know, I even miss her because I wish, let her just be there, but let her be giving me that trouble. Sometimes like that, because that's like how
it's like that.
Me and her, we banter sometimes because last we know. She knows I love her. I know she loves me. Do you understand? My mother-in-law, I remember when her brother came to stay with us in Germany when I just had my son, and she was like, Celia, do you even know how to cook self? I better come and taste that food and make sure that my brother and his wife are going to eat good food. I said, okay, mommy, come. And she came. When the woman tasted the food, and she was like, okay, this food is really nice. Do you understand? She would yab me, as in she would tease me, but at the same time, we know how we move on from that. And as I said, my husband, when it comes to my mother-in-law, my husband was always there to protect anything that had to do with his family. He was there to
you
protect
are lucky. The
and,
average
and
Nigerian
that's what I do
woman,
for him. That's what
the
I
average
do for
Nigerian
him as well.
woman in this Nigeria that I am in today. The husband does not defend the wife. No. They usually throw them under the bus.
No.
Okay. Well, that's very wrong. That's very wrong.
Usually throw them under the bus.
It's the independence we have here. Because we are quite independent
here. This crime, there are a lot of women. We have two categories of women these days. You don't really have the ones that are like Syria is saying, I will not. You don't have the ones that are very timid or the ones that are ready to save themselves. You have, so it's really a confusing thing to do, because at times you just have to defend yourself. You have to just let them understand. At times, in fact, is this your husband that you could have said one thing inside. By the time he's saying it's something else that you are hearing. So now at times, just go to let people know where you stand. Me personally, I think that's how I operate. I like people to understand this is how I am, this is who I am. If they accept me or not, I cannot come and go, and I have my child to live for. I have even grandchildren to live for.
In my situation, I didn't even have to do that because my husband was there. Do you understand? I didn't have to defend myself. I didn't have to defend myself with my mother-in-law because my husband was there and he did the defending for me. So all I just heard was the stories from him. Do you understand? So I didn't have to do that. So I never had to stand in front of my mother-in-law and say, oh, why don't you like me? Or, no. Do you understand? Because my husband was there.
You can't ask that kind of question now.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I won't ask. You can't ask.
The issue. Me personally, I think it's okay to ask. You're asking it in a respectful way. You're not going there for a fight.
It's not respectful enough.
If you and your mother-in-law, if your mother-in-law doesn't like you, you're aware of that. You don't want to put your husband in the middle of any argument between you and your mother-in-law. You're a big woman. You go to your mother-in-law and you have a conversation and you ask.
No, without even asking.
You don't need to ask.
What is it? And you're supposed to build the relationship with the mother-in-law. You're supposed to make an effort to do that.
I personally think that
have that conversation.
Actually, hold on. Given what Karima said, which goes back to what I said initially, we know what the problem is. Okay, sometimes mother-in-laws just want to be seen and heard. So I know our culture might not allow us to question our elders, because even we still have it with the young ones, we can't ask them questions because they belong to themselves. So would it not make sense and be like, mommy, what exactly is the problem? How much can I make things better? Or you just let it be like, you know what, you bring fire, I command the fire from your head, if you put it down, let you know this is my house.
I suppose if it got to the point where things really came out of hand, then yes, you can ask that question. Maybe if the animosity towards you from your mother-in-law was becoming unbearable, then you can ask that question, okay? Because Karima, you said something, I can't remember what you said earlier, but yeah, it depends on how bad it is. Then you can ask your mother-in-law that question and say, okay, mom, what is it I can do to make us, if not, I don't know, maybe just be civil to each other. Because at the end of the day, it's your son that I'm married to, and we are married, and this marriage is going to last. Okay, and Karima, the thing is, what you said earlier was, you're a big woman, don't put your husband in the middle. No, your husband needs to be in the middle because he's his mother.
He needs to be there. Because of him, they're punishing you. He needs to be there.
Punishing.
Because I think as well, what's very important is you come into the relationship. You're someone from the outside, yeah? You want to preserve that relationship between your husband and his mother. You don't want to have any animosity between and your husband feeling the pressure of having to defend his wife, but also having to keep his mother happy. So the two women can come together and have a conversation. That's all you're having is a conversation. What's gone wrong? What's happened? And try to talk to one another and resolve that. That's a lot better than putting the husband in the middle.
Karina, they are always in denial. They are always in denial. They'll tell you, please leave me alone. I did not tell you I'm angry with you. I'm sitting on my own. They are very sarcastic, and
they are so in denial.
My son's
turn
house.
it against you. They'll turn it
My
against
son's
you.
house.
Thank you.
You
Then
can't
you will
chase me
start
out.
begging. You will start begging. You came to make peace, but then you have created a war. So there's no point. Leave it and just leave safe.
I don't know. I think without this,
you're there.
All right, hold on, Estelle. I'll go comment.
Yeah, without what Etel and Ajike and Karina has said, this is the reason why I said it is good to bring your mother-in-law closer. Let her take you as your child. Exactly. Because
but there are some people.
It depends on them.
Oh, but there are some people you want to take them. They are not ready to take you.
You can't control what another grown adult does. You can't control how she will behave. You draw her close. You want to draw far. Will you kill her?
I think the question is, should we allow our mother-in-law to take us as a biological child?
No, that's not the question. We deviated from that long time ago.
Can I just say?
I wish she would take me as a biological child.
Marry now.
Can I just say, guys, the thing is, sometimes these mother-in-laws that you want to draw close, they want to use it to monitor. They want to monitor what's going on in your home. They want to draw you close so that they can start to manipulate you. They will start to manipulate your husband and things like that.
Your home.
Yeah,
okay.
But
go on, Celia.
No, I was going to say, the thing is, we have to be very careful. Okay, we have to be very careful because some mother-in-laws might feel they're in competition with you, right? I know of someone that she just had a baby. Yeah, she was in Nigeria. She had a baby in Nigeria. She was staying with her mother-in-law. Her husband was in Germany, right? And because the husband came, they did wedding and everything. So the husband went back to Germany trying to sort out her papers so that she can come and join him. But before he was able to do that, the wife had already had the child and everything. She was staying with the mother-in-law. Now, the husband decided to buy a car for his wife so that when the wife is going out or whatever, she would have the car to use. But the mother-in-law was so angry. How can my son buy you, his wife, a car when he hasn't bought for me? Right? So the thing is, that's where people's mentalities are different. Because for me, I have a son. First of all, I love my son so much and I want to be in his life forever and ever. So I will make sure that whichever woman he gets married to, I will be good to her. So that she will not have any reason to say, I don't want your mom in this house anymore. She's making me upset. Because I would expect that my son would listen to his wife. Because that's his first priority. Okay, I'm not going to be that mother that will say you have to choose between me and your wife. No.
That is why you have to make your own living.
Daughter-in-law.
Make your own living. Do something with your life when you are young, so that you don't need to be depending on your children for the rest of your life.
Okay.
If they do for you, it's bonus.
It's a bonus, right?
Do something.
Okay. No. So if I have to make sure that me and my daughter-in-law, we are always on the same page. We're good to each other. Like there's no issue. Do you understand? Because I don't want any woman to come and drive a wedge between me and my son because I am not good to her. Do you understand? So if anything is going to happen, let it be that it's so obvious that it's this woman that does not like me and I've done everything that I can. So as women, none of us are mother-in-laws yet, but we need to, whatever experiences we've had in our marriages, we need to use it and say, okay, this is the kind of mother-in-law that I do not want.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people, sorry, Celia, but some people, because they went through it, they'll say, just like boarding house. And they'll say, oh, I experienced it, she has to bear it too, because it happened to me. Mentality. So instead of them to make themselves better and make the other person feel better, they will say no.
Yes, a lot of mother-in-laws of our own generation, they do that because they feel like I suffered, I did this, it was done to me. So you too will collect your own. No.
So let me ask the five of you a personal question. Your husband's upbringing, you will say he's a good man, Celia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Ethel, your husband is a good man, isn't he? Karima, your husband is a good man, isn't he?
100%.
Ogo, your husband is a good man. And Najike, your husband is a good man. Good. So all of you, your husbands are good men. So if your mother-in-law is giving you unsolicited parental advice on how to raise, because they've got experience, they've raised men that the five of you have actually married. Do you have a problem raising your child. Wait, I'm here before you chop my head off. And they're giving you advice because obviously you are raising boys and wonderful children, but we don't. There's no manual that says this is how to raise a child. But this is someone that has raised good men that each of you have actually married. So if your mother-in-law is giving you unsolicited parental advice on how to raise your children or how to maintain your home, would you have a problem taking that? You've not asked that.
She raised her own, let me raise mine. She raised her own, let me raise mine. No.
You have married a product of a hard work.
It's okay, yes.
Hold on. Go on, Ethel. Ethel, finish, and then I'll go to education.
Just like I'm a product from somebody else's parenting. Let's do our own. Let me raise my children. You can't come because sometimes you give them that open door, it becomes control, and they want to do that to keep controlling the situation in your home. And when you now say it's time now, I've got the gist, let me take over from here, then that's where the problem comes. So don't even start it.
Okay. Ajike, you were gonna come in. Sorry, I stopped you there.
Okay. When it comes to this issue of raising, okay, I always make that statement when I'm talking about when defending, most of the time defending mother-in-laws, that especially from wives, because there's this thing that also happens where some women, as much as we're talking about mother-in-law, there's some women that come into the house and they just disrupt the family. They just come with this, I'm coming, only me and my husband. And I always tell them, this family raised this boy, this man that you have married, and you just want to cut them off. Or they were in another argument, I said that they were in his life for this number of years and he wants to cut them off. Now, what she's also saying is also, another thing I always say is, as much as you are raising, Yoruba will say, one toy, one not a toy. The mother might have done a shabby job and it was actually the boy that even raised himself. We have seen situations like that where it's only that man that is good in your family.
Yeah.
All his siblings, they are all just, I don't know, let me not use another bad word. They are all just there. They are all, they are riffs and raps. You understand? So you get, he might have raised himself.
Yeah.
He might have looked at it that, okay, I don't like how I was raised, and changed himself.
Yeah.
So she cannot come and like, let me raise my own. You raised your own, let me do my own. Nobody was there anyway. I was not there. I was not there when we were doing your own. Let me do my own. But at the same time, I still hold on to that argument that, especially women that just come in and just want to just, we've had women come in and you can, I have uncles that we cannot just walk into their houses because they're married.
Yeah.
We have relatives that we cannot just go there because one woman is there. So, those things happen. And I'm even from an okay family. We have not come to say pay school fees. We have not come. We just want to say hello.
From hello,
like my Naramani will say hello. Naramani's people. Hey, just want to say Twale, uncle, good afternoon. Voila. So it's just both ways. This is a topic that we can even just delve into and not leave. But for me, let me raise my own, let me do my own. And the man must have raised himself. So what are we talking about?
My Caribbean lady, Karima.
Well, there's a difference between advice and dictating. Okay. That's how I see it. And as a mother, sometimes you do need some advice. We want to do everything our way, but sometimes you just don't know. And it's okay to take some advice, especially if it helps you with parenting your children. Yeah. And who better to take advice from somebody who's raised such a good man? Yeah. We all don't know how to do it. But boy, somebody come and advise me on this teenager, please. Somebody. And she's an adult now, actually 18, and I still need some advice. So who better to ask or go to than not my mother, the craziness she would tell you to do, but your another mother. We do it at work. We do it amongst ourselves as women. This is another woman. There's no harm, but there is harm with somebody who's coming into your palace and trying to tell you how to run it and how to raise your children. There are times in your life that you may need some advice because you don't know what to do. That's okay to take the advice, but not somebody to come and dictate to how you should raise your children. No.
Or say your children are naughty. They are not raised right. They are not raised right. See what you've done. See things like that. They tell you they're advising you, but they are condemning your parenting skills.
Okay, Celia.
You've had some experience, boy.
Who does, man? I'm going to look out right.
Who have you been talking to, Ethel?
Celia, let me quickly hear from you, and then I'll go, and then we close.
Well, as Karim has said, I kind of agree with what everybody has said in a way, because it depends on the kind of advice. Because the way we were raised, that's not how we're raising our children. You know, it's different. I think, Ethel, you and I were having this conversation the other day. The way, the things we would expect our children to do, we just did it automatically for our parents. Okay, so there's a difference there. So it depends on the kind of advice that she's given me. Yes, I'm definitely open to advice from my mother-in-law, but it depends on the kind of advice. It's not all advice, just as everything else in life. It's not all the advice that people give to you that you take. Some you think, oh yeah, I could do with that, and the others you're like, no, that's not really my style. Okay, so you listen to the advice and, you know, use the one you feel is relevant, that fits into your kind of parenting skill or parenting type.
I'll go final word from you before we close. Do you take parenting advice from your mother-in-law?
No, I won't take.
Despite the fact that you're close to your mother-in-law.
No, that's when it comes to husband, but not when it comes to my children.
Girl, I'm weak.
She just scattered the table. Yeah, go on.
Yuri, yes, I get advice, but like Celia said, you don't have to take that advice. It's not all the advice that I take, but I give listening ears and I listen to what she has to say, but that doesn't mean I have to do that. But when it comes to parenting my kids, is a no. That was olden days. We are in a modern world now, and things are totally different. Yeah, things are totally different.
But are they? Are they? You know what? The main person I will go to for advice for a lot of things is actually my grandmother. Those were the olden days. But I thought she's had 8 kids and they're all alive. So sometimes I would ring her, and I remember a midwife said to me, you mustn't give your baby water. The baby has enough water in the bottle. So I said, I gave my baby some water because he was thirsty. The milk consistency is different to some water. And I saw that he went, you could see it was refreshing. She went, oh no, because she read it in a book. The book told this midwife, she studied it. So I rang my nan, she said, water is life. Everything needs water. Who tell you not to give the baby? It's just a small amount of water. But this midwife, who's probably was younger than me, was telling me I mustn't give my baby water.
From what she read in the book.
I rang and I gave my baby water. There's no harm come to the baby because she read it in a book. But my grandmother, who, by the way, used to put a drop of whiskey on the top of the baby bottle just to let them drop to sleep, which I don't do that. I never did that. I didn't take that advice.
That's a radical grandma.
Just put a drop of whiskey on the top and fall straight asleep. But I didn't take that advice. But she said to me what made sense. She says, everything needs water in life. Plants need water to grow. Everything needs water to survive. She said, give your baby a little drop of water. My first daughter kept crying and crying, wouldn't drink the milk. She said to me, your baby's hungry. Midwife said, don't feed the baby yet, not ready. She was 4 months. My grandmother said, listen, boil a little sweet potato, boil a little carrot, mash it up and give it to her. And she ate all of that, full baby. I thought, well, she's had 8 kids. So sometimes, although you think it's modern times, you can't take the advice because they don't know. The elders, they know.
When it comes to nursing,
when it comes to nursing and health,
that's fine. I'm talking about raising your child, not nursing. Nursing, of course, they have all the wealth of knowledge. I mean, raising a child. Your mom, who raised you, may not know how it's run these days.
Especially when we're in a different country.
So
I don't know. I think if my teenager was raised how I was raised, she wouldn't say boo to nobody.
Okay. Let's leave here.
She wouldn't say boo to nobody.
For anybody that still has mother-in-law, please give them water. Maybe that will make things a lot better. Yeah, they say water. Water is really good. For all we know, grandma, mother-in-law might be parched. So we'll leave here at that. As you can see, the ladies have all brought it. And they're raising fantastic men in their lives. We look forward to marrying them off to wonderful women, because these children in Celia, Ethel, Karima, Ogon, Ajike's life have been through women who actually know what it's like to be on the other side. So we'll close and we'll leave it there. It's been a pleasure trashing this with you ladies. Until next time, thank you for coming on the show.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.